This is the Ohio AgNet from the Voice You Know at the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF and Zadia, the most trusted name in herbicides, providing Ohio soybean and corn acres with up to 2 weeks more residual activity and broad-spectrum weed control. I'm Ty Higgins. Ohio corn and wheat growers in Washington, D.C. to visit with their members of Congress face-to-face about year-round E15, the Farm Bill, USMCA, and other policies that impact farmers directly. Join the Ohio AgNet later on today for our midday report with more coverage from the nation's capital. USMCA is sneaking back into the headlines. What are the hot ticket items on online farm auctions these days? And meet this year's CCA of the Year. This morning's news feed brought to you by Tempty, now factory direct in Sydney. From trailer sales to parts and trailer service, the Tempty team is ready to keep you moving. Stop in today or call 326-206-2062. It's day 3 of the Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers Association mission trip to Washington, D.C. I talked about USMCA with the policy folks at the National Corn Growers Association. Nancy Martinez talks about why we're hearing more and more about USMCA these days.
So USMCA is up for a review this year. So we as U.S. agriculture groups and corn playing a big leadership role are coming together to put the positive and foundational message about USMCA benefits for our industry out there. So we want the administration to be informed of U.S. Ag's position as they approach the review because of how crucial the agreement really is for corn growers.
We'll talk about the ag position in a bit, but what's the position as far as NCGA goes and corn farmers across the country? How's it work so far?
Yeah, so USMCA is very beneficial for us. Mexico is the top market by far for U.S. corn. It's about $5.5 billion worth. And Canada is the top market by far for ethanol exports. It's about a third of all of our ethanol exports go directly to Canada. USMCA also includes a really important tool to allow us to combat a negative trade action. And we saw that when Mexico tried to ban biotech corn. The U.S. won that case and Mexico withdrew the decree. So the success of the agreement not only is in the environment that it creates, but these tools that really help protect our export markets.
What about the rest of agriculture? How has it fared through the last 6 years of our agreement with our neighbors to the north and south?
Yeah, so as we started forming our positions on USMCA and coming up with our comments for the stakeholder comment period, we noticed that a lot of our friends in the U.S. ag space had a similar mindset. So Mexico and Canada were the top markets for them. They had used the dispute settlement mechanisms, and they really valued the partnership that Mexico and Canada and the U.S. have had to be able to compete globally. And so that was enough evidence for us to build a quick coalition called the Ag Coalition for USMCA to help put that positive foundational message out there.
Nancy Martinez, Director of Public Policy, focusing on trade here at the National Corn Growers Association. Again, thank you for having us here and thanks for the insights.
Thank you.
Let's check the weather, brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance, online at seedconsultants.com. Here's Ryan Martin.
As warm air lifts up in, we're going to have to watch for a little bit of moisture here today. I'm looking mostly at west central and southwestern parts of Ohio where we can see some streaky kind of showers. A few hundreds to a few tenths, that is all. The rest of the state probably gets away with nothing and even sees slightly better chances for sunshine. The entire state sees a mix of clouds and sunshine for your Friday and for your Saturday. So tomorrow into the start of the weekend should be a nice setup here overall. A few more clouds in the overnight periods, but during the day, not too shabby. That brings us to Sunday. We've got cold air trying to break free in Canada again and sag south. As it does so, it wrings out moisture. So I think Saturday midday, afternoon, and evening have to watch for scattered showers around 60 to 70% of the Buckeye State, a few hundredths to half an inch. Behind that, we are cold to start next week, Monday, Tuesday. Temperatures easing at midweek, and then we yo-yo a bit. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thank you, Ryan. Let's check in with our weekly update from the Ohio Soybean Council and your checkoff dollars at work. Here's Dusty Sonnenberg.
Joining me today is Greg Labarge with OSU Extension. Greg, topic for today, nutrient management, water quality. You know, a lot of work has been done to improve the quality of the water in Lake Erie by both farmers and researchers alike. It didn't just happen by accident.
Yeah, I think from a nutrient management standpoint, we're doing really great work in reducing the amount of phosphorus that goes in or on the fields. Mm-hmm. And with that reduces one source of potential loss when we're making those fertilizer applications. Second thing, by reducing the amount of phosphorus going on is that we continue to increase yield, so we have more coming off, and that what results then in a net reduction in the amount of phosphorus that's stored in the soil. That leads to less whenever we have that rainfall event that leads to drainage flows in the watershed, that we have less phosphorus coming off. So all good things in relationship to farmer involvement in that result that we're starting to see.
Definitely a win-win-win in multiple ways. A win for the lake, a win for farmers, and just a win for the public in general as we are being more efficient with that. And as farmers look at what the increased prices are of fertility right now, that's a big deal.
At $850 a ton, MAP is one of our more expensive nutrients at this point, and it really, from a phosphorus economic standpoint, makes sense to put less down. And agronomically, we see that we're able to manage that and see that soil tests phosphorus will stabilize in the soil, and we have a good buffering capacity in that case. And what we also see is that there is not necessarily a crop response all the time when we apply fertilizer. So we're starting to understand where that sweet spot is in relationship to economics and understanding crop yield increases from phosphorus and how we go about that better economics for nutrient management.
Again, my guest today is Greg LaBarge with OSU Extension, talking about improvements in water quality in Lake Erie thanks to some of the research funded by the Ohio Soybean Checkoff and the work of Ohio soybean farmers. For the Ohio AgNet, I'm Dusty Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Dusty. Get ready to see the future of farming. Join Ag Revolution for the Ohio Massey Ferguson Roadshow March 26th at Ag Revolution's Urbana, Ohio location. Learn more and RSVP at agrev.com. Back with more farm news after this as the Ohio AgNet continues.
Looking for heavy equipment but don't know where to buy? Purple Wave Auction has you covered. Always online and always no reserve. It's your destination for construction or ag equipment ready to work. We even sell semis, trailers, and fleet equipment for your operation. Best part? It's free to join. Head to purplewave.com. That's purplewave.com. Sign up for a free account and start bidding today. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Welcome back to the Ohio AgNet. I'm Ty Higgins. What are the hot ticket items for online auctions this year? Joe Everett has that story.
I'm visiting with Martin Shue with Purple Wave Auctions. And Martin, tell us a little bit about how would a farmer get started?
Well, first thing I always suggest is you contact your territory manager in your area. The easiest way to do that is go to purplewave.com and go to the About tab, and then from there go to Territory Map. From there, you go find your location, tap on that color. It'll bring up your territory manager with their email address and their phone number. Give them a call. Say, hey, I'm interested in doing something. Tell me all I need to know.
And as we're rolling into spring here shortly, let's talk about what are some of the hot ticket items right now?
Oh, now you're getting difficult. So I'm assuming we're talking about farming. So on the farming side, I think farming's been a little difficult right now, so it depends on where you're at. If you can hit it here pretty soon, it depends on the region. Your combines are going to be an item to be looking at. So are your, obviously your headers and that. Tractors pretty much any time of the year, just depends on when they need them. But check with your local guy to figure out what's actually best for you at that time. When is the best time to market your items? What's best there? Because what happens down here in Texas, especially South Texas, is not the same up there.
You guys mentioned no reserve. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, no reserve is actually the best way to sell anything. The one thing most people don't understand is any auction, I don't care who it is, any other auction companies or us, our main job is to build and maintain a buying community. So if we're taking care of that community, what we're doing is offering you a place to sell your assets, your equipment, whatever the case may be. What some people think is, well, they want to kind of control the system. Well, that's fine, but you're cutting off your nose to spite your face type of situation. So what we do, and I'll tell people, and it throws them a little bit, we don't sell new equipment, we don't sell used equipment. What we sell you as the seller is we sell you a market. We're selling you a group of people that are interested in that. When we start playing games with that market, doing reserves, stuff like that, what you're doing is you're making it more difficult for you to actually sell that item. The guy, you're wasting his time. He's busy. You're all busy. You're out there trying to get stuff done. If you're going to do that, just tell me what you want and let's haggle from there. What we do is we take that aspect completely out of it, make the guys have to compete against each other for that item. It makes it work better every time. If you try to sell something yourself off the side of a road and you have two guys show up at the same time, you want to watch the dynamics change in a heartbeat, you try that. And we found that is the best way to do it, is a no reserve. It works best every time. It is a little nerve-wracking because, yeah, you want to have that control. But the catch is you really never do have that control. I'll have people say, well, I want this much for it. And I'm like, well, the market's not supporting that. So really all I can say is congratulations, you're the high bidder. You get to keep it.
And where can farmers go to find more information?
Best place to go is go to purplewave.com. Again, you'll be able to see all the items we've got on there. You'll be able to see our past results on any item. But the main thing is also go to that Abouts tab, look up your territory manager, get in touch with him. He'd be more than happy to visit with you, build that relationship, find out what's best for you. Because we don't want you just running it through there and make sure you get it done. We want to make sure we're doing what's best for you. That's what works best in any situation. So that's the best way to go about it.
Awesome. I've been visiting with Martin Shue with Purple Wave Auction. Thank you for your time today.
Yes, sir, Joe. Thanks for meeting with you.
Thank you, Joe. Let's meet this year's CCA of the Year. With more on that, here's Allison Kinney.
The Ohio Certified Crop Advisor Program is proud to announce Aaron Clark as the recipient of the 2026 CCA of the Year Award. Clark serves as an agronomy solutions advisor for Sunrise Cooperative, demonstrating his commitment to supporting his producers with the tools and technologies to attain and succeed the successes they desire for their operation. Sponsored by the Ohio CCA program, the state award recognizes individuals like Clark for their exceptional service to farmer clients, outstanding contributions to nutrient management, soil and water management, integrated pest management, and crop production, along with their role in fostering knowledge exchange within Ohio's agricultural industry. Clark was honored at the 2026 Conservation Tillage and Technology Conference in Ada, Ohio in March. For more information, the entire article can be found at ocj.com. For the Ohio AgNet, I'm Allison Kinney.
Allison, thank you. Markets and analysis coming up after this on the Ohio AgNet. Life on the farm moves fast, and so does the news that matters to you. Stay ahead with the Digital Daily from Ohio AgNet and Ohio's Country Journal. Each morning, get the top ag headlines, market trends, weather updates, and the stories shaping Ohio agriculture, all delivered right to your inbox. It's free, it's easy, and it keeps you informed before the day gets going. Sign up now at ohioagnet.com for the Digital Daily and get yours first thing in the morning.
Get ready to bid on the heavy equipment and vehicles you need in a Ritchie Brothers Midwest Regional event happening March 26th and 27th. Inventory is at Ritchie Brothers locations in Columbus, Chicago, Detroit, Minneapolis, Kansas City, and Lincoln, with in-person inspections available. Bid on a wide selection of excavators, loaders, dump trucks, and truck tractors. Don't miss this great opportunity. Visit rbauction.com/Columbus to sign up. rbauction.com/Columbus.
Welcome back to the Ohio AgNet. I'm Ty Higgins, and today's market analysis is brought to you by Louis Dreyfus Company. Excited to bring a brand new soybean crush facility to Upper Sandusky. Learn more about marketing your beans with LDC at 574-566-2113. Here's Ryan Martin.
Grain markets Wednesday finished mostly higher. We were a bit weaker in soybean oil, but otherwise, well, cotton as well, but nobody really cares about cotton much around here. Corn, beans, and wheat up. The wheat was the leader to the upside. We got some global demand news earlier on in the day, but it didn't really help U.S. wheat, where the U.S. concerns really started to ramp up were the dry pattern that is unfolding in the central and southern plains. Wheat country out there starting to get a little bit drier, and the forecast is for it to get drier still from here. Otherwise, energy markets were the main driver in row crops outside of wheat. Crude oil was up $1 a barrel or more through most of the trading day, and we saw corn and soybeans both follow. However, there wasn't a whole lot of other news to trade on the war front. Still, the Strait of Hormuz is closed and is projected to be closed for another 5-10 days at least. Given the current situation, I'm Ryan Martin.
Ryan, thank you. Markets on the Ohio AgNet brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. Corn for May up by 2 1/4 at 465 1/2. July 476 3/4 up by 2 1/4 as well. Soybeans for May overnight 5 1/2 cents to the good at 1167 1/4. July 1182 1/4 up by 5 3/4. And July wheat 4 cents higher at 619 1/2 overnight. After yesterday's trade, live cattle for April 235 65.40 up 17. June 30 cents higher at 234 even. April lean hogs up 2 points at 93.75, and feeder cattle for April down 97 cents at 353.82. This is the Ohio AgNet.